up? What up? What up? This is Mike the Philosopher here with another one. This one is Crystal, the interview with Verneashia. Haven't seen this yet. Don't know how it's going to go down. Let's see what she talking about, shall we? Let's go in.
Welcome.
Thank
We're gonna
you.
get right.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. So you know that we're not gonna start with what everybody is wondering about, because we had Mizell on Wednesday.
Yeah,
We're not
seen
gonna,
it.
we're not gonna start with that. We're gonna start back in the beginning, because Verneashia, we've been talking of every week, and how this series is so different than Ready to Love, because you guys are coming to New Orleans. And I'm like, what kind of man would Verneashia need in order to make her? You have so much going on in Houston.
Right.
What could possibly influence you to even be open to having a long distance relationship with somebody all the way in New Orleans?
Well, first of all, I spend a lot of time in New Orleans. I have family in Louisiana, and so I
Okay.
have roots that's in Louisiana. Not too much of New Orleans, but like Lake Charles. But I
Okay.
like am a frequent traveler to New Orleans since I was 19 years old. I love New Orleans. I love the culture. I'm from Galveston, so people always talk about like my accent and how I'm talk. I am very country. I cannot help it. I'm raised from a very small town, and New Orleans reminds me a lot of home. I'm not opposed to like moving to New Orleans, or maybe in the near future having a place there. I love it.
Okay.
So yeah, like when they called, my only concern was that I just didn't want it to be nobody from my past that's from New Orleans that was affiliated with what was going on. That was my only question. And also, I didn't want it to be like a competition type thing. I'm
Mhm.
not normally used to like competing with women for men. So even Ready to Love was like a stretch for me because I've never had to do that. So I'm pretty much, if you like somebody else and you're into somebody else, I'm okay with that. Like I know how to move around. I'm not gonna like compete for your attention, your time, like for you to focus on me. You either know what you have.
See, and yeah, I get it. I get it, Verneashia, Vern. But I just don't see how they can make it any easier for the women. I really don't. Like, how other than the Bachelorette, okay, where you the only woman on the show, how else can they make it easier for the women? Y'all got all of the options. Okay, you only competing, like with Ready to Love, you probably competing with what, 7 other women, something like that, 9 other women, depending on how they load the show or whatever. On this show, you only got 3 other women, and you're not even really necessarily competing with them. How well how if you can't compete with 3 women, then you shouldn't be on the show. And they can't make it any easier than they have, not just with Ready to Love or with Make a Move, but with the Love Experiment too. It's just so easy for women. So the show is catering to y'all. So you should be look. Everybody needs to compete. Let me make this clear. Everybody needs to compete. The men, the women, everybody needs to compete to get the person that they seek out, that they want, right? Everybody needs to compete. What is it with women not wanting to compete? You don't want to step on your girlfriend's toes or whatever? Forget them. You're not there for them. You're not there to make girlfriends. You're there to get your guy. And you shouldn't let any other woman get in the way between you and your guy. You got to compete. The men got to compete. Men got to compete all the time. But when it seemed like women just wanted, like, they just want a layup. They just want a guy that from all around. They just want men surrounding them like they're on top of a mountain, and all the men are on this hill on bended knee with flowers holding them up to this queen goddess woman. They want it that easy. Anything other than that, women don't want to deal with it. I don't know. That's just how it seems from a male perspective. Anyway, let's go
In front of you, or you miss out.
Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at any of that. So again, I'm gonna just ask you that part of again. So what would you need in a man to actually make you consider it? Because even though you travel there, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's a lot of men in Houston. Houston has a large population of African-American men.
Mhm.
What do you need in a possible partner to make it worth you actually settling down, letting go of any other options, and really focusing on him?
Well, first of all, he would have to be loyal. So that is very rare these days.
in.
I think that's my first and foremost, and definitely be stable.
Okay.
For me to be able to just be able to pack up and be able to go back and forth, because I think that's a effort that we both would have to make, and so that would take a very stable man that's secure in his finances and secure in himself, with us kind of not living in the same city at the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll probably be able to find a guy who's stable long before long before she'll be able to find a guy who's loyal. I look, man, we got to take this one on the chin. We got to get better at loyalty. Okay? I don't know what it is about men too not being able to be loyal. I think it's because it's part of the culture out here, just like women is with money, men is with sex. It just is what it is. Women want as much money as they want, they can get, and men want as much sex as they can get. We both have vices. Let's just keep it real, okay? I think the culture of men, I just don't think that I don't think that women understand how to keep a man loyal. If y'all know a way to keep a man loyal, put it in the comments. I'm going to tell you some ways to keep your man loyal, ladies. Listen very closely. Turn this up. Number one, you give him what he wants. You give him the sex he wants. Whatever kind that is, you give it to him. You give him what he wants intimately, to the point where he don't have a need or desire to be with another woman. Now I know what you're thinking. Some women are saying, I could do that and that still won't work. Another thing you need to do is give him his love languages. If it's acts of service, if you're a woman who cooks and hands your man a plate of food, he ain't going nowhere. He's not going nowhere. If you both fill his belly and empty his sack, that man is less likely to go anywhere. There is only one guy that will cheat on a woman like that, who fill him up and empty him out at the same time. There's only one guy who would cheat on a woman like that, and that's the guy with the hyper ego. And what I mean by that is, if a guy has a hyper ego, whether he's very attractive, or he's a buff guy, been in a gym, a trainer or whatever, or if he is desired or very rich, very desired by many women. Those guys with the hyper ego are the only ones that will probably never be faithful, if I'm being honest. So ladies, watch out for hyper egotistical men. No matter what you do with them, they're always going to have options, and they're probably always going to cheat. So if you want a guy who's not going to cheat, you got to get a guy who does not have a hyper ego. And you still have to do three things with that guy. You have to fill him up, you have to empty him out, and you have to not emasculate him. You have to stroke his ego. Be careful not to turn him into a hyper ego guy, but you still do have to stroke his ego. Okay? There's a fine balance. When you see it getting out of control, his ego getting out of control, you probably knock him down a couple notches. Just don't emasculate him. A man who doesn't feel like a man is going to seek to feel like a man. And the best way to do that is over another woman. Okay? So, the lesson for today: stay away from hyper ego men. They won't ever be faithful. Empty him out, fill him up, and stroke his ego. But be careful not to let his ego get to hyper. Make sure it's level and it stays level. All right? Hope y'all learned something. If I'm wrong about that, put it in the comments. Let's go back in.
So those two things alone, and I got to be able to trust them. Yeah.
That's the big part. Now, then on the other hand, let's talk about your first keeper, because I think everybody saw that there was a connection between you and Jabari.
Yeah.
And I feel like Jabari, I mean, I know I don't ever put anything past any man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, I feel like Jabari was really, really into you. I feel like the issues could have been some other stuff, right? So what were your thoughts on, because you kept him around long enough. We know that
I did.
Time.
Mm-hmm.
So what was it that you liked about Jabari, and what made you ultimately decide that you needed to move on?
What I really liked about Jabari from very early on, Jabari is very down to earth. He's from Mississippi, got them country roots. He reminds me a lot of myself. We had a lot.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to get this comment in real quick. DC said, "Oh my God, I've never seen Mo so excited, talkative and happy, like he happy to see Verneashia or something." That was just funny. I had to read that comment, but let's go back in. They saying Mo is acting a little thirsty towards Verneashia. I don't know about that, but maybe he is a little giddy that Verneashia is on the show. Verneashia is I don't know. She become very popular. I dig her too, but all right, enough of me talking. Let's see what she say about Jabari.
Out in common. We both had daughters that attends Prairie View, A&M University. On top of that, both our daughters are gay.
Yeah.
Young, black, very smart, intelligent young women, right? And that was rare because I'm so much of a mother when it comes to my children. It's very, very important for somebody to be able to accept them all the way around for who they are. That's something I don't play about. Like, nobody's going to ever come into my life and make my children feel, just unaccepted in any type of way for their lifestyle, right? And I worked very hard to have that type of relationship with them. And so, we got each other when it came to that. Because, of course, that's not what you want for your kids. I don't think nobody just grow up, you watch your kids grow up and like, oh, I want my child to be this type of way. But you learn to adapt. And you learn to, it's unconditional love. If that's all you got to worry about is your child being gay, baby, because I don't really have any issues with my daughter. You get what I'm saying? She's a great, loving, beautiful, smart baby. Like, so that's all I got to worry about. I'll take that all day. And so, but you have people that's, homophobic and all that. And so that was a big deal for us. We talked so much about that, and they didn't even kind of show that. And, Jabari's just a good dude. He's a great father. He's a great son. He's a great person. What y'all don't see is that, like, kind of off camera, me and Jabari spent a little time together. Jabari is very frugal.
Oh, we assume that.
Yeah, let's get to that. Cause that's
We
what
assume that. We might not have seen everything, but we did make that
I'm
assumption.
not like a gold digger by a long shot. But I do want a man that wants to take care of me in some shape, form, or fashion. I think I bring a lot to the table.
Right.
And I don't want to argue with you about getting my nails done. You know, like the small things.
Okay. I'm a attempt to defend Jabari a little bit on this. Okay, listen, y'all not an official couple yet. Y'all not an official couple. You were still shopping around. You were still looking at other guys. Why would he? Why? My question is, why is your expectations on him spending money on you so soon? I know there's a lot of women out there, you got to pay for my hair. You got to pay for my nails. We got to go to a 5-star. I ain't doing no Cheesecake Factory. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it's all give. It's all, women expect men to give it all, as if men aren't supposed to save something for their special one. How do it look for me to be taking potentials to better places than I do my own woman or my wife? Do y'all really expect that? Do y'all really expect that? Do you give your best to your jump offs than you do your husband? Some of y'all probably do, to be That's probably why guys ain't sticking in no relationships, because they get the best of you when they not committed to you. And then when they become committed to you, then you want to dry up and you don't want to. Anyway, my whole point is this. You can't expect too much or a guy to be spending so much on you and y'all not even a couple yet. You talking about him getting your nails done, Verneashia? Why would he do that this soon in the game? Okay, you're a beautician, I get it, but why is that an expectation? So I have to get Jabari's back on this. Like, he might be cheap, and even if they became a couple, he might even be cheap then. But you never know. You never know. And if y'all together as a couple and you saving money by being with him, because he's probably paying half the mortgage, half the rent, whatever, you got extra money to get your own nails done because you're saving money being with him in a couple. So it kills me when women make all this money and then they expect the men to be giving them the world. And they not even a couple. Now, I admit, getting the nails done, that ain't a big deal, but it's a big deal to a man, because a lot of men are like, look, I'll take care of you, but I'm not just going to be spending and taking care of every potential woman I run into and giving them all the world. And how is my woman going to feel special? What, you want me to take you to a 5-star restaurant and I got it, and the maitre d' is like, oh, you back again, Mike? Who is it? This is the third one. And you be like, how many chicks you done brung here? Well, hey, nobody wanted to go to the Cheesecake Factory, so this was the closest place. This is the closest place. It's a 5-star restaurant. What you worried about? Now the 5-star restaurant place becomes basic now because you done took all the chicks there now. I don't know. It's just like, y'all got to be more realistic in what y'all asking for from men, okay? And you should expect nothing unless you are a couple. I hear women say it all the time. I ain't doing no wifely duties if we ain't if we ain't married and I ain't got no ring on this finger, don't expect no wifely duties. I hear this all the time. But y'all be expecting husband duties. Y'all expect a husband to be paying for your hair, paying for your nails, taking you to 5-star restaurants. It's all take and no give. And men are tired of that. I'm just keeping it 1,000. All right. So I got to get Jabari's back on this. You ain't his woman. Why would he be paying for anything for you right now? If he was your man and he didn't, either he didn't give you the money or you didn't save enough money by being with him that you couldn't do it yourself, then that would be a problem. But he ain't your man. Why should he be treating you like you his wife? Women don't want to act like wives. Why should men be acting like husbands? Legitimate question. Put it in the comments, your rebuttal to that or your answer to that. I'd be very interested to know. But I'm Team Jabari on this. Let's see what else she said.
And like Jabari, I don't know. So Jabari told me very early on, if he seen me just out in public, he would not approach me. I would not be the woman that he go for.
Why?
He said I look high maintenance.
Here's the thing, Verneashia. This is what I saw. First of all, if it was after 9 o'clock, he wouldn't have seen you anyway because he'd be in the house.
Somebody said he's asleep right now.
Right?
He's definitely
Wow.
asleep.
So after seeing your profile on Instagram, like you're kind of outside, he's all the way inside.
Mm-hmm. But that's not true because we spend some time outside. So on the weekends, he's definitely outside. Don't get it twisted. He outside on the weekends. It's just that during his week, his lifestyle, and I'm inside mostly during the week, and that wasn't my issue. My issue is you thinking that at 9 o'clock, because you in bed at 8 or 9 o'clock, that I have to be in bed at 8 or 9 o'clock and be. Right. That's not that. I'm never in bed at 8 or 9 o'clock. Right. I'm working.
Right.
Like, and my thing is with his income.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to carry the household the way that I need the household to be carried. So I have to work. I don't mind working and pulling my weight. I've worked since I was 12 years old. 13, I've been doing hair. So I'm a hard worker. I don't mind working. But you can't expect me to cut everything off if you cannot add to what I already have. And maintain it on top of that. Okay. Now, if he was a man that he like, hey, this is what I want in my woman. I want a very I'm not traditional. I never come to people. I don't act like I'm something that.
She's not traditional. And not that I expected her to be traditional. A lot of women, well, we're dealing in the modern age. It's practically all modern women in the West. But what women have to understand is if you are a modern woman, which 99.9% are in the U.S. especially, if you are a modern woman, listen very closely. If you are a modern woman, you deserve a modern man. Okay? What is a modern man? 50-50. Half. We split the bills. Inflation is high. Okay? You can't be a traditional man unless you have, I would say, at least 250 to 300. Okay? K a year. If that's the case, then you need to accept the fact that this is a modern relationship. Now, Verneashia said she don't mind working. She's been working since she was 12, 13, whatever. She don't mind pulling her weight. And yes, she is going to have to work because inflation is high. Cost of living is through the roof. It's never been worse than it is now. And it's getting worse. That's good. That's fine and dandy. But you can't be expecting him to be paying for your nails and your hair and all this. That's traditional stuff. Women love to be modern, but they want their man to be traditional. Stop it. Y'all need to stop that. You don't, if you insist on being a modern woman, you deserve a modern man. And a modern man, there is a different contract on the table with a modern man. Okay, we split bills, maybe go 50-50, or depending on the income, fluctuate the percentage a little bit. But this is a partnership. This is not a traditional situation. So stop asking me for traditional man stuff. But women love the perks of the traditional man. They love those perks more than the modern man. But that's not your situation. Even if you got a traditional man, can you be a traditional woman? Probably not. And the reason why he said he wouldn't approach her is because she looked high maintenance, meaning he knew she was modern. A traditional woman wants to be a traditional wife. What is a traditional wife? Stay at home mom, cook, clean, cater to her man. Most modern women don't want to be a traditional woman. So you shouldn't be asking for a traditional man. Stop asking him to get your nails done, Verneashia. Stop asking him to get your hair did. Stop asking him for all of these things. I know you don't mind working, and that's fine. But he already knew day one you were going to be high maintenance. He already knew that. He may not have the income of a traditional man. And he should not expect her to be a traditional woman because he not there with it. So Jabari, if you expecting her to be a traditional woman, you out of pocket. You can't expect that out of her. So all of this, it's nap time at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. You're gonna have to lighten up on that, bruh. You're going to have to lighten up on that. Let her handle her business at her shop. And whenever she closes the doors and get done with her business, that's what time it is. Now, it shouldn't take her forever to close the door or, close the business and be home. But at the same time, y'all just got to strike a deal. Okay. And why are you going to bed? Unless you're waking up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, why the hell are you going to bed at 8 o'clock? That is a bit of old man stuff right there. I'm going to just call it how I see it. You may need to, I don't know. You need to function. Like she said, he can function on the weekends and that's all good and dandy, but stay home until your woman comes home, man. Okay? Can you stay up a couple hours, 10 o'clock at least? Make sure your woman gets home. Don't go to sleep at 8 o'clock and don't trip because she ain't in bed with you at 8 o'clock. You know what I mean? So I can kind of understand that. But I think at the end of the day, all of these are still workable issues that they got. I think they can still smooth this out and work this out. They got to talk things out, though. But I still thought Jabari was probably her best match. But even that has some kinks to work out. Let's go back in.
But I'm not. I have kids.
Oh, yeah. Let me read this. This message from G-Dub. It said, it irritates me when men suggest that we are high maintenance because we comb our hair and get our nails done. Men don't think you're high maintenance because you comb your hair and get your nails done, sweetheart. When you ask us for the money, then it becomes high maintenance. Okay, comb your hair, get your nails done. Do it. We want you to do that. But who is responsible for the maintenance? What? You've been doing that all your life. Now all of a sudden, because we're together, it's my responsibility to maintain your appearance. You're a grown woman. Okay? Now I'm not saying traditional men wouldn't do that. A traditional man would do that. If I'm being honest, I'm a traditional man. If I get a woman, I would prefer her not work. I would prefer her to take care of me first, take care of the kids second, take care of the house third, and then take care of her extended family and friends last. That's just how I move. That's how I work. Now, me saying that, I know it's a lot of women out there be like, oh, I don't know about all that. You know why you don't like that? Because you're a modern woman. That's why. And that's fine. But if I get in a modern relationship, I'm cool with that too. But don't ask me for no traditional treatment. Because I'm going to tell you, if I'm in a traditional situation, I'm paying for your nails. I'm paying for your hair. I'm paying for your clothes. I'm paying for everything for you. But if I'm not in a traditional relationship, I have 2 contracts in my hand right now. Which one you going to sign? But once you sign one of them, you can't flip-flop. You can't have it all. You can't take the best of both the worlds. You got to take the good and bad with one contract. Which one you going to sign? Because if I'm a modern man, we splitting the bills. Okay? We splitting bills, we splitting chores, we splitting all of that. And we don't even have to share bank accounts. You do your thing, I do my thing. We're together. But we're helping each other save money. We're helping each other in life, in chores, in duties, in, intimacy. We're helping each other in a lot of ways. But it's a give and take. A split of the duties, so to speak. But if it's a traditional situation, it is gender roles. I got 2 contracts in my hand. Which one you gonna sign? But once you sign one, you got to stay there. Okay? I don't want to be a traditional man and then you decide you want to be a modern woman and go work and go do all this and you save all your money and all. No, that's not the contract you sign. Or you decide you want to be a modern woman, but you want me to pay all your bills and you want me to pay for your nails and your hair. No, that's not the contract you sign. Okay? Pick a contract and sign it. And when we get there, we staying there. Okay? Let's go back in.
Kids out of wedlock. Hey, like I've seen a lot growing up. I'm not traditional. You know what I'm saying? I don't make excuses for anything that I went through or my life. I just made better choices and I did better so my children didn't have to go through and grow up the way that I did. And so you want a traditional woman, baby, you have to find that. I'm not coming to you as that. But I am like a woman's woman. I am a homemaker. I am like a great mother. I do cook. I clean. I can do all those things. But I'm not a traditional woman. And Jabari is not he's not that much of a traditional man. I don't know. People just, I don't know.
They pick and choose. We pick and choose the characteristics that we want.
Yeah.
So let me. I just want to make this clear. So was it because some men? It's not necessarily that they're cheap; it's that they may not have it. Right? It's a difference.
And that's not him. So I don't think he's not broke. So I said that he has a great government job. He's okay with his lifestyle and his very modest living.
Okay.
Now I'm not rich and famous. I mean, by a long shot. Like, listen, but I live okay, and I think I've afforded a okay lifestyle for me and my kids. And I don't want to have to downgrade for what I've worked so hard to maintain. And
you putting it together, so it's not a downgrade. It's somewhat of an upgrade, right?
Well, that's true. But if he's willing to, that's gonna make his bills gonna go up every month. He's okay with, like, he has his bills and stuff set the way that he wants to live and what it is. Even if he was to come in and pay half, he gonna be paying double probably than what he's already doing. And is he willing to do that? You have to be.
I don't know why that didn't make sense to me. Somebody help me out. If he comes in and pays half, he's going to be paying double. How much more of a lifestyle are you living than him? Are you living the lifestyle of the rich and famous? So I get what she's saying. She lives a lot more expensive lifestyle than he do. And apparently he's going to be paying double being with her. Maybe it's just not to be with them, because I can't see him feeling comfortable doing that. I can't see her feeling comfortable with it either, because, well, it'll help her out because she can knock out half of her bills. But she's not a traditional woman. Now, she's a modern woman, so that is part of the contract, 50-50. So he would have to pay 50%. I'm just wondering if that would be a problem for her. I don't know. Let's listen to some more. Hold on.
Equally yoked, and people don't understand that mindset. Just because people are good people, you can be a great man, you can be a good woman, but that don't mean that you're good together. And I had to learn that over the years, because I'm thinking, he's a good guy. You know,
he's a good man, Savannah.
Yeah, but is he a good man for me?
For you.
Or am I a good woman for him?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We have to make it fit and make it work into each other's lifestyle and each other's world. And at the end of the day, I don't see that wasn't going to work for us. And we knew. We had the hard conversation.
See, here's the thing. Men are very frugal because we have to be. And the reason why we have to be is because ain't nobody going to save us. Ain't nobody going to save us. As a matter of fact, we're going to get ridiculed for being broke. So in order to keep our lifestyle stable, we're working to keep a stable and generate wealth. Men are investors. I'm not saying women are not, but women have the most debt. Okay? They have way more debt than men. They spend a lot of their money. And their lifestyle goes up, and their debt goes up. Men are steady Eddie, and we invest and we try and get out of. We don't have as much debt, so all this high living and lifestyle stuff, I'm not impressed with, because who knows how much of that is in credit card debt, student aid debt, whatever the case may be. It sounds to me like he got his life where he is making a steady income. He's building a nest egg, and he probably got a whole lot less debt than Verneashia. Okay. So oftentimes, and I'm gonna keep it real, I think a lot of women look for the only reason they looking for a man is to help them out with a lot of this debt. You know, they got so much debt. Oh, I guess I'm ready for a relationship now. Somebody to come save me. And I'm not saying that's Verneashia, but I'm saying that oftentimes that is the motive to even wanting a man, is to help them out with some of these bills. Okay. Let's go back in.
Conversations, we knew. No matter how much he wanted it to work, Jabari is not ready for that. Jabari cannot handle. Jabari is jealous. That's very first and foremost.
That was obvious.
He's very jealous.
I noticed that.
He's very jealous. And so even with me just going out, I'm at a lot of events, a lot of network. I'm around a lot of men. You got to know your woman though. And so he will tell you the same thing. Like I told him, I'm like, far from a hoe. I'm not a woman you have to worry about smiling in everybody's face, this and that, and trying to hook up. That ain't me. I would never make my man look stupid. That's one thing you never have to worry about with me. I'm very, very loyal. But you can't, like, even with just my process of me, you knew what you signed up for.
Right.
And he continued, like, he tried to make it harder than what it was for me after I was explaining to him what happened with I'm Ready to Love. I just refused to do that again to myself.
Yeah.
But technically, he might not have known what he signed up for, because they did a switch on the guys. I don't know if you're familiar with the.
Yeah, they know. They know that everybody. They thought
knew enough. They can get on here and act like they knew nothing, but nobody is signing up for anything that you know nothing about.
Got you. Okay.
Let's be very and that's the thing.
Yeah, but you're not gonna sign up for something you don't know nothing about. But what if they switch the rules on you? Okay, from what I understand with your boy Mizell, he said they kind of did a switcheroo mid-season and said instead of it being a regular Ready to Love cast, we're gonna just have a couple women and it's gonna be a knockoff Love Experiment type of deal, and we're gonna just change the name and this, that, and the third. So I can see how Jabari said I'm not sure what I signed up for, because they changed it. They changed the rules. They changed the rules somewhere, because like I said with Mizell, he thought it was going to be something different. He thought it was going to have more options than just, and he didn't even really get an option. They just paired him with Sharice, so he didn't get to mingle and work the room like he was expecting to do. So, I can kind of understand where she's coming from, but at the same time, like Mo said, maybe he didn't know what he was signing up for, because they changed the rules. They changed the whole format of the show. It's not even a traditional Ready to Love show like what they thought they were signing up for. Let's go back in.
Thing with these men, y'all get on here and y'all act like, just be accountable for you. Be honest and be truthful. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all may not have knew every detail, but it wasn't about them for the production to run it down to them.
Yeah, it wasn't about them. That's the problem. That's the problem. They found out probably later it wasn't about them. So, okay, so yeah, they signed up for Ready to Love, and then it switched to Make a Move. So it's like, wait a minute, what? We're doing okay. So you still doing the show, but the women got all the power. So I don't know about that one, Verneashia.
But you do know the premise of the show. You know this ain't Ready to Love. You can't tell me you thought it was 10 men and 10 women. I know them people ain't tell you that.
Because they all have said that they thought that that's what it was.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Okay. Now, production be productioning.
Well, I know that much. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that they made them think that this was Ready to Love. The original Ready to Love.
Right.
Because even if you did think that, you didn't ask the questions. As a man, you're not going to ask.
Well, I will say this. I had a friend that tried out for this show. And he was told that that it was going to be Ready to Love in New Orleans. And the funny thing, and I hate this. I hope Own don't be mad at me, but
Okay.
they told him that it was Ready to Love New Orleans, and they also told him that it was okay that he did not live in New Orleans. And I
That's
was
true.
like, how are you
That's
going to
true.
in Atlanta and be in New Orleans like you live there? And he was like, oh, I got a friend that I could borrow her house or whatever. And I
Now
was,
I heard that. I did hear that. And then most of the men were Mississippi, Alabama.
yeah,
They did not live there.
yeah.
That was crazy to me. Even when I was signing that, I'm like, you don't even live in.
Yo. Oh my goodness. What's going on? What's going on? You can't even get local people, producers. I hate to, throw the whole show producers channel under the bus, but it's like at least get people who live there. It's called make a move. What, you want me to move to Mississippi? Why are we shooting in New Orleans? What's really going on with that? Why would you make a show called Make a Move and it's in New Orleans and everybody from Mississippi? That makes 0 sense. 0 cents. Oh, you don't have to live there. Like, who was in charge of this? You can't find enough good locals to put on the show. I mean, listen. They probably had to scrape up as many men, as many men to get on this show as they possibly can, because they are having a hard time finding men who want to be on camera, who want to be dating women openly, who want to be on TV or whatever. A lot of men probably just not into it because it might blow up their spot. They probably got 2-3 side chicks they don't want other chicks knowing about. They probably got a chick on the side. They probably dating the chick and still end up on the show. And they girl like, what you doing on the show? I can understand how it could be a bit hard to find good quality men that women would be attracted to. So maybe they gotta reach across state lines and stuff just to find some guys. But I would think that they can find some local guys. Like, it's called Make a Move. Where the hell am I be moving to? Why are we shooting in New Orleans? How about this? You go to a state or a city, you find enough locals, then you start shooting. You start shooting the episodes. The executive producers and the channel has got to take a L on this, because it seemed like they misleading everybody. They're misleading the men. They telling the men that it's regular Ready to Love format, which is not. They told the women the truth, but they didn't tell the men the truth. And maybe they didn't tell the men the truth on purpose, because a lot of the men wouldn't have went for this format. They wouldn't have went, oh, the women get to make all the choices and have all the power. Nah, I'm dropping out. I'm sure a whole bunch of men would have said that. Oh, I don't get to mingle. I don't get 10 women. It's only 4 women and they have all the power. I'm out. I'll pass. Peace. They did that strategically on purpose. Did not tell the men, because they knew it was a disadvantage for the men. That's some dirty Hollywood stuff, man. Let's go in.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Dunn doesn't live in New Orleans. A lot of men do not live in, he don't even live in like Mississippi, Alabama.
That's why it be taking him so long to get there.
No,
Right?
he was born in somebody's house,
Yeah.
just like you said. Like they don't live there. I didn't like that much at all because I
And
feel like if you bring us to New Orleans,
That happened in DC too, because there were people that didn't really live there that were trying to be on the show. But this person was trying to, and the crazy thing was he thought that he was cast. So he told me, "Oh, I made it. They like me," and I was like, "Okay." And then it turned out that I guess they didn't use him. But yeah,
like if they
so
did do that, because I mean, me just listening to like different guys, I'm like, that's wrong. You know, for them to make them think that this was like the original Ready to Love, because I don't know. I know I asked a million questions even before I said yes. Like,
but
now
even
what's
one
going on?
they had a choice though, right?
yeah,
I
but once
did.
we found out what it was, and I will say, men probably don't ask as many questions. They know it's gonna be pretty.
Yeah,
We
they,
don't.
They don't ask because they're not as thorough when it comes to that kind of stuff. But
I can believe that.
regardless, once they were introduced to the situation, they knew that it was Jason's voice.
Yeah.
So okay, so I'm glad you cleared that up with Jabari, because I was like, I feel like he is a lot more narrow-minded than
Hmm.
you, and I feel like you guys, it was great chemistry, but it's also just how life is. Some people are just, you like them a lot, but the
Yeah, look. I think that's all. I put it this way. I think they really not paying attention to the Liz factor. Okay, these two were getting along just fine until Liz showed up. I'm gonna just be real. I think they could have worked it out. But Liz had to remind her, we modern women, girl, we business women. Okay, you got to be equally yoked. And then Verneashia is, oh yeah, you're right. I forgot. I'm in the girls club. I'm in the modern woman club. I'm in the sisterhood. We are business women. I can, if I just wanted a man, I could have any man. I ain't go settle. And then she reprogrammed her back into the whole sisterhood. I think these two could have worked it out, Verneashia and Jabari. They're not mentioning the Liz factor. Liz practically reprogrammed Verneashia into. I'm not saying they didn't have no issues. To work out, but I think they could have worked them out. They both seemed willing to work them out. They were getting along just fine till Liz showed up. I don't know. Let's go in.
lifestyle doesn't mesh,
Man.
right?
I just don't think, and that's what I told you. And me and Jabari are still friends to this day. That's one thing about him. He wasn't salty about anything. Jabari is a really stand-up dude. He's dating somebody. Like,
Okay.
we're cool, like
Bothered you to have to really say it. I felt that was genuine.
that did. It did because we had created more of a friendship than anything. And one thing about me, I do not like to hurt people. I'm not a person that want to see people hurt. And I know how I feel to be on the other end, to where you really like somebody, and you're thinking is this, but that's one thing. I never lied to him. I never led him on. I never let him think it was only him. I was
Yeah.
very, very honest with him about the whole process and my intentions. If
Mm-hmm.
this is what it is, let this naturally flow and let it be what it is. But don't stop my process in the midst of this. Like, don't interrupt that. Don't make me choose. You know what I'm saying? And it's because it wasn't time for me to choose.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah. And I appreciate the fact that you are not trying to make the same mistake that you did last time.
Kind of learn from my mistakes. I try to, as I grow and get wiser.
I don't know. My grandmother used to say, "Don't be old for no reason." So if you're getting older, you're getting wiser, or something horrible has happened. So let's talk about Tabari, because I told Mo when he first was introduced, I was like, "This is refreshing," and I feel like we were a little concerned about all the different jobs, Verneashia. We were.
No, but let me tell you, he's very humble
Okay.
because he didn't even tell. When I tell you, his family and him,
Mm-hmm.
they got businesses on top of businesses.
Okay.
So
Okay.
even with him saying he manages a restaurant, no, his family owns a bed and breakfast.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's not
Okay.
a person that just go around and just talk about his accolades. He was kind of uncomfortable with even having to tell everything that he kind of did. Honestly,
Wow.
it's not who he is. He's a very, just a jolly, playful, hardworking man. But he's
Okay.
just a humble guy. Like he don't own a radio station. They own things. And I was
Yeah.
like, he said a manager. No, they own a bed and breakfast. I know for a fact. Like
Yeah.
he
Because that's
does
what
real
didn't make
estate.
sense.
Yeah.
If you own a radio,
Yeah, that's one thing, but boy, women will find out what you do, and they'll check those credentials. They'll start Googling stuff. They'll do a background check. I know for a fact his family owned that restaurant, that bed and breakfast, that radio station. They be all in your funds, boy, in your finances. I just find that hilarious. But shout out to Tabari. Shout out to both of them, Jabari and Tabari. I still don't think that they're a good couple, if I'm being honest. I'm not saying Tabari is not a good guy. Super cool dude. But let's see how this turns out with her and him. Let's see.
station, how would you be a manager at a restaurant? That just didn't
No.
make sense.
No, yeah. And he does
Plan-
so much with the youth. He could have went on and on about a lot of great things that he does. And
Okay.
but no, that's just not who he is. That's it. So
That
he
makes me
definitely,
like it more.
downplayed this stuff.
You running
No.
on, I do this, I'm that, and I'm this, and I'm
Mhm.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
actually
got
like,
themselves up to be more than what they are normally.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Now, let me ask the ladies a question. I got a question here. Y'all put it in the comments, please. I need to know this. It seems like to me, and this is just for just to see where everybody's head is. It's not that I don't know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. She said he was very humble of everything, and his family owned businesses, and it seems to me like that's a huge part of a woman's attraction, is not only the money he makes, but his prestige in the community. Give me a percentage on how much of that is what women are mainly looking for. Because it seems like if a man has money and he has businesses and he has accomplishments in his, and he has a bit of prestige, okay, with like Tabari do with the family name, that seems to make up for a whole lot. He could be shorter than you. He could have skin tags all over his face. He could be all in your bosom like a little kid, jolly. It's almost as if what he does for a living makes up for a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm not shooting no shots at Tabari. I think he's a real cool, real dope, real humble dude. Shout out to Tabari. But it almost seems like when she started talking about his family businesses, it almost erases every other thing that could be a possible negative about this guy. And it's like, to me, why does that weigh so heavy? Why does that weigh so heavy? If she has her own money, she has her own career. First of all, if he's that busy, he ain't gonna have much time for Verneashia. He's just not. He's gonna be at the radio station. He's gonna be volunteering with the kids. He's going to be, at the restaurant. He ain't gonna have time for her. Is she even looking at that? Does she even care about that long as the checks coming in? Ladies, give me a percentage. Give me a percentage on how much what a man does and how much he makes. How heavy is that? Is that 100% of a man to you? As long as he got that, you can deal with everything else? Or are you looking for something else? I want to know what else women are looking for. Because money and prestige and all that is very obvious that y'all looking for that. I want to know what else other than money and prestige and all of this. What else are you looking for in men that or I do you one better. Give me something more important than money that you're looking for. Put that in the comments, please. Give me something more important than money that you're looking for. And if it's nothing more important than money, put in the comments nothing. Okay? Put in the comments nothing. Okay, let's go back in.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about that. When you met him, that's the one thing that we did hear you tell him, that you wanted other people to see the real him and not always the jokey and playful side.
He play a lot. He plays a lot, and so that was one of our major like issues. Like, I just wanted him to be serious. Like, I don't want people to always see you as like the funny guy when you walk in the room.
Yeah.
Because the serious conversations and stuff that we had, I wanted people to see that side of them.
That's fair.
I don't know what did they show tonight.
Well, no, show the more serious side tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing. And I like all the ladies on the show. Everybody is different. But I feel I can say this, and I know we see an edit, and we know that the producers kind of create the story that they feel like is going to be the best received. But you do a great job of dating on this show. And to me, it's a good example for women to look at, because you are always kind. You're always sweet. Even if it may not be a fit for you, you just are yourself all the time. And I don't know.
I don't believe in putting men down, especially my black men. That's the one thing. Feel like they go through so much. Every man, I know I can't date every man I meet. And I meet a lot of men, to be very honest. I'm very choosy about who I entertain, but I'm very kind, even about if I don't want to date you. I'm not going to, I may even lie. Sometimes be like, oh, I'm in a relationship. I'm almost married. Because I know men don't like rejection, and they can't take it sometimes. And so I don't want to make people feel like they not enough, or they not good enough, or no, I just know you probably not my person, and that's cool. I can go out with a guy one time, and I'm like, I probably will never see him again, but I'm going to be so nice to him on this date.
I like that. Why like that? Let's go.
Yeah, listen, Verneashia is a dope woman, man. It's not a lot that I don't like about this woman. She's kind to others. She will cook. She will clean. She will, not put her black man down. There's a lot. I mean, she got a brick house. There's a lot to like about this woman. It almost makes me wonder how she's single. She's loyal. She ain't gonna be smiling in everybody's face. I love that, because I had an ex who was just friendly to everybody, and it was like, do you got to be in everybody's face? I'm not a jealous guy. I'm not an insecure guy, obviously, but it draws more attention than I'm a very low key guy too. So I don't like all of that attention drawn to us. I was in the relationship. I was more of the introvert, and she was the extrovert. And it was a good match with us, because I could be with an introvert or an extrovert, for the record, but she was more extroverted, and it just drew a lot of attention to us. And it's not. I'll be like, look, as an introvert, my energy get drained. Okay, it's just what it is. So when she's bringing all of this attention, it was good at some points, and then at other points it was just like, we could be at a hotel or something, right? And she would just strike up a conversation with anybody and everybody, and talk, and I'm trying to get to the room because I'm trying to lay down. Okay, we're in a hotel. I'm trying to get to the room. She wants to finish the conversation and talk about story, and now I got to entertain the husband, right? So she's talking to a woman. I got to talk to the guy, strike up conversation. I'm like, look, can we just go? Look, let's just go to the room, okay? It's nice meeting y'all. Y'all have a good one. We'll catch up with you, okay? But my point is, what is the point? It's just that I like the fact that she don't like to smile in everybody's face and don't have to strike a conversation with everybody. We can kind of be in our own bubble. Okay. I kind of like that. I like the coziness of our own bubble. I don't mind being social and catering, and we'll host parties or we'll do this, that, and the third. We can do all that stuff. I love all of that stuff. But do you always got to be in people's face? That's just, just bear with me, y'all. That's kind of striking up a bit of my past. So, but Verneashia is dope in a lot of ways. She don't smile in everybody's face. She's very loyal. I only got one question for Verneashia, and my question is, how good at you are at expressing my love languages? That's the only thing I worry about this woman. I'm not worried about whether or not I'm gonna be attracted to her. I'm not worried about if, and another question I got is, how modern are you exactly? Because we could do the 50-50 thing and all of that, but if I was talking to Verneashia, I would be like, look, you gotta get rid of Liz. I know that's your girl. But I just don't have. Look, just limit your your communication with her, because I don't think she'll have our best interest at heart, and I really don't. I don't think Liz is one of those friends who is just waiting for something to go wrong so she could tell you, oh girl, y'all not equally yoked, you can do this, you don't have to settle for that, you're a queen, okay, you're a goddess, we are business women, she just one of those friends. If she's not lifting up your relationship, which she wasn't doing with Jabari, she's not gonna do it. She's not gonna do it with none of the guys. I don't think she's gonna be supportive of anybody, because I think her life is being a businesswoman, and she lived vicariously through her friends, and she ain't gonna never get no man, because she ain't gonna never feel like no man is good enough for her, and she gonna feel like ain't no man good enough for her girl. She might as well just go bi or go gay. I'm just being real. I'm not trying to make a shot at Liz, but I just don't think she will support our relationship. So, but getting back to Verneashia, dope woman. It's a whole bunch to like about this woman. She was my favorite in her RTL episode. She's my favorite on this show, obviously. I like Ashley too. I think Ashley is adorable. But I just had to say that. Let's go back in.
No reason to try to tear a person down or be equal to them just because they're not for you.
But even outside the men, you don't put on any airs. You don't seem to be fake. You know what I'm saying? So we respect that.
No, I'm very direct. That's the one word people use when it comes to me. I'm not mean, but I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. And then I stand on it. So I hate when people try to either twist my words or my actions or something, because I'm like, I'm a very direct person, and I stand in my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear. If I did something, if I make a mistake, I'm okay with saying I made a mistake. Hey, that probably wasn't the best representation. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. But I'm a stand in it.
Yeah.
I always have a thought like, who gonna do?
Who gonna
do nothing to me? You know, I
But that's
can't
a
be
grown woman.
checked. It is what it is.
That's being a grown woman and really being
Yeah, we
comfortable.
gonna make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. Even with this mom, I was talking to my mom about like now with the Mizell stuff, and she's like, they read the comments. My family, well, well, they're saying this and that. It makes people that love you upset when they really know you. And I'm
Right.
like, Mama, it's my turn. I've
Mhm.
been like this whole everybody got a turn. You know what I'm saying? This is my turn. It's cool.
Yeah.
Because obviously people they don't really understand the premise of the show. Because if you did, I did nothing wrong. First of all,
Right.
it's just the lying that I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't. One thing I don't do if I don't lie.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't remember something, I'll be like, well, I don't quite remember that, or I can go back. But let me recant that. That probably didn't happen like this. But I'm
Mhm.
not blankly lying.
Nah,
Yeah.
but from a male perspective, you didn't come off like we didn't get that
No.
energy from you.
I
Yeah.
don't lie like that. I try not to. Like for what? Now, if it's like a good, like in good favor, like telling somebody I'm in a relationship because I don't want to hurt their
I
feelings,
don't think that's a
but
lie.
just to lie, because I always had an attitude like, what the heck I'm lying for? What you know? My mama would tell you like I'm a even when I was younger, I own like she's like you the ringleader. If I got in trouble, I can't blame nobody because she know and I'm gonna do what I want to do. Nobody can force me to do anything. That's why when
Mhm.
people are production, like production can't force me to do nothing. Whatever I did, I wanted to do it. I did it because I wanted to.
Thank
They
you.
could
That
never use me as a puppet. I don't even know why they called me back because I was never used.
Can
right.
we ask you a question? How heavy of a hand is the production?
Very heavy.
Mhm.
Mm.
Very
Oh,
heavy. Reality TV period. And
Yeah.
if you've never done reality TV, you don't know that. And I think I told you this, Crystal, on our first interview. Me going on reality TV, it gave me a newfound respect
Mhm.
for castmates that's on reality TV. Because, like so many, I was on the couch, baby, judging, right?
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
point like, girl, oh no, she shouldn't have. Oh, no, why she did
Mhm.
that? Because we don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all seeing a smidget of what took hours and they balling everything up into this little 1 30 minute or an hour segment that took
Mhm.
hours and hours to film. You have voiceovers. They got us saying stuff in certain scenes that we didn't say. If you don't see
That's
our lips or you don't see us saying it, you only hear our voice. We didn't say that right there. We said
mm,
that somewhere else. They just inserted that there.
yeah.
mm.
Reality TV is never reality TV. And so
Mhm.
I knew what I saw. The first time I didn't understand that because I was
Yeah.
like, when they it was something that they said. Oh, they said I had been single 10 years. I was like, I didn't say that. I said I hadn't lived with a man in 10 years, which was true. But they
Mhm.
took me saying that little part and put it in another part. And so I wasn't really complaining because other people had so much bad things, bad edits. I was like, okay, I can't even complain about that little small thing. But it showed you how powerful editing and production is.
Got
Yeah.
They can create whatever character they want you
The
to
story
be.
they want. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
With
let's
the
let's
little
go
stuff
get
that
it.
you say.
Let's get into it because
it.
we had Mizell on, and I think what the issue was is two things. I think people saw him with Sharice, and honestly, to me, I feel like that was the best option that we had seen for Sharice, right? So I was like, oh, thank God, Sharice got a possible one. Now, when we did call him out on the fact that at the mixer, it was very clear that he was. We felt like he was flirting. He said that
He
wasn't.
definitely was flirting all night.
He said it was 40 second. There was 40 seconds that you guys talked, and that was it.
I seen all that. So I'm gonna create the scenery. We go out with the guys. Him and Sharice, first of all, had only been on one date.
True. Mm-hmm.
Sharice didn't even come home talking about him.
Mm.
Sharice was not, and this is, and I talked, me and Sharice talked yesterday for 2 hours. Me and Sharice talked. I am friends with all of my castmates.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Okay, none of these dudes ever come between that.
There you go.
Um, me and Sharice talked yesterday because I sent her to go watch. That's why she wanted to come today. She was like, "Oh, he does this live.
Damn
He
it.
blatantly lied." So
Now, if you watch my video with Mizell before, I did a video on Mizell. If you haven't seen that, Go back and check that out. And this is before this latest episode aired. This is before I said the dude was lying. Okay. I said the guy is a little weaselly. Okay. I said all of this stuff that Verneashia is pretty much like, look, practically anybody could see this, right? But I said a lot of the stuff that she's about to say. I just want to point that out. The guy came off weaselly to me, and I was very suspicious. Again, I don't necessarily think he's a bad guy, but you probably can only take Mizell for so long. And this is why none of his relationships lasted for more than 4 years. Because whoever he was with, they were probably tired of him at that point. He seemed like a very shallow guy. Doesn't seem like he has a lot of depth to him. Okay? You're going to get the same teenage guy, and he's 55 years old. And it's like, I would expect this out of a teenager, dude. Why are you lying at 55? And why are you trying to downplay stuff? And let's let Verneashia talk it out.
If you seen his text message, like he said, he showed you. On the text, it has a part where he says, I think I caught something about catching eyes. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, I think we caught each other. See, that's why I'll let Alton and girl, okay. So when Mizell walked in, we were all like, we wasn't even at everybody before the mixer, right? Mm-hmm. He walked in, he kind of looked at me and I looked at him.
Okay.
Okay, he's handsome. To myself.
Right.
I had never seen him because our blind dates that we go out with, just like they never seen Tabori, we don't know who went out with who.
Right.
And if you don't come home and talk about them or showing us pictures of social, we don't know who the heck they are. And then I think, Sharice said, yeah, that's Mizell. I said, oh, Sharice, he handsome. Mm-hmm. That's simple. Right. After filming, he kind of, he looked at me maybe like 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Like it was kind of, and I'm like, but I'm entertaining too, dude. So when I got up to get a drink, that was his move to say, you found your dude yet, and offer me a drink. We didn't talk long. We maybe talked, it wasn't 40 seconds. It was like 2 minutes because we talked about kids. Like we realized we were like girl parents. Okay. Right? It was a brief it was nothing too major, just to be honest. Mm-hmm. When we got ready to leave, it was a lot. He was
flirting with you. You knew he was flirting with you at that moment.
He was flirting. I think we kind of both looked at each other like, oh, okay, she cute, he's handsome. When we first caught eyes, but he was kind of like standing off because Sharice was the other boy wouldn't kind of move, and so he got his eyes is just his eyes. He okay. That's why when you get out here, you try to navigate in a different direction of just being honest. It's okay to say, I thought I seen a beautiful woman.
We tried to leave him.
Listen, and I'm like, the dude was sending me pictures of him and his dog. All kinds of stuff.
Wait a minute, hold on.
See?
You did call him out, Mo, because I'm gonna read you what his text message to me was, and the only reason I'm doing this, because y'all know I'm not messy, but it's because he sent this to me. So if you send me this, then I have to call you out on what you sent. So, and he sent this because he said, I want to make sure that you see so that you'll know that I'm not lying.
And I'm gonna tell you exactly how I went, because I'm sure he deleted stuff.
So, right. So this is a text message. It says, hi, were they able to find the bags? Great. I'm glad they were. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm glad we talked tonight. And I hope you ladies had a good time. And then you say, me too, I had a good time. He says, cool. Then he says, hope we can make some time to talk soon. And then you say, we can tell them you want to date with me. And that's it.
So the thing is, and after that, he called.
Oh, he said he did not. He said he did not call.
I bet he did.
So let me tell you what really happened. And the thing is, Sharice was Ashley was there. Everybody knows about what really happened because we were present. Why do you think you can get on a platform and lie when every time something happened with me and Mizell, somebody was present? So when we exchanged numbers, the only mistake that I made, we had been drinking, right? Like one thing about production, they have you drinking heavily. They want all the real you. They want you to miss. Like they just want the team.
Yeah, yeah.
When we were leaving, Mizell and Tabori, which is my keeper,
right,
were swarming around looking for something. Zadie was standing there talking to Cam, I want to say. Sharice had an attitude about something. I don't remember what happened, but Sharice was ready to go.
Could be anything.
She wasn't checking for nothing. That's why I'm like, Mizell, boy, you delusional to think that Sharice, they made that look like Sharice cared. Sharice didn't care that much. Let's be very honest. Sharice walked right past everybody. I'm ready to go, whatever. Sharice was Sharice. Ashley walked behind her. I don't know if her and Ashley had something going on, but it was something with them two.
Okay.
So I mean, Zadie would stay back. I'm talking to Tabor first, but they saying they lost their bag. Well, Mizell's like, so I'm like, it was the hotel people. I'm like, if their bags were here, somebody must have moved them. Just being me, because that's who I am. Has nothing to do with me flirting. My keeper was right there.
Right.
So Mizell's like, yeah, like he say, I think at that moment, although he was kind of, we caught eyes or whatever, it wasn't heavily flirting then at that point at the mixer. But I think at that moment with me caring,
he said that, yeah.
That made him like, oh, okay, well, maybe like,
yeah,
I may like her. Or I may want to go on a date with her. I just think in that moment, just with me being nice, honestly, not to say he ain't see the material, he's seen it, but at that, he wasn't, it just wasn't that.
Right.
Mizell said, where's your phone? I did not ask Mizell to put his number in my phone. And Zadia reminded me of that. Mind you, I said it was kind of a little blurry for me because I had been drinking. One thing about me, I can admit that. That's why when I told Sharice, he asked for my number because in my head, I thought that's what really went on. I'm like, yeah, I just remember him getting my number. But I remember him initiating to get the number. But what he said was he didn't have his phone. Okay. He said, where's your phone? My phone was in my hand. He put his number in my phone and he called his phone from my phone. I never called him. Okay. That's why when he got his phone, he had the 832, the number was on his phone. Now, he did not call me back right then and there. He texted and said that they found the bags. This Mizell, whatever, they found the bags, whatever. That's where you see the conversation. Well, while this conversation is going on, I'm sitting in the living room with Ashley and Sharice. Now, I had already told Ashley, me and Mizell exchanged numbers or whatever. So when he called, I actually seen it was him calling. Now, Sharice don't know that this is Mizell on my phone. Sharice is over there actually to my son, but I'm kind of like, Ashley knew. So he says, well, yeah, same thing with the messages. It was good to see you, whatever. I think we kind of caught eyes, blah, this and that. Yeah, I didn't know that we can go on dates with other people. I say, yeah, you have to ask production. One thing you're not gonna do is date me privately on the show and play. I feel like if he could have done that, because when me saying ask production, why is that such a big deal? Ask production. If you want to go on a date with me and you see somebody else that you're interested in, let production know. At the point, I would have been open to go on a date with Mizell. I wasn't tripping on that at that time. The conversation was very brief. Now, what happened was the next day, that boy texted me from the time he got up until he arrived at that house that night for the mixer. Never, not once, text Sharice. Sharice had not, but he also told me him and Sharice did not talk like that. When he would call Sharice went on her phone and responded to his text. Sharice laughed. We talked about it. Yeah. Sharice didn't even, she wasn't, that's why do you think she was so, Sharice didn't care. She wasn't that interested. Yeah. But that's okay because we have the right to not be or to be interested in who we were interested in. Right. But
yeah, Sharice wasn't interested. This woman is so hard to please. Sharice is so hard to please. I don't know. She not only is she hard to please, but she's hard to get along with. And look, maybe her guy just wasn't there, but what does her guy look like? What does her guy look like? Is it Maurice, the attorney guy? She complained about him. He was too smooth. He was too comfortable. With Mizell, she wasn't really interested. This woman is going to stay single forever because she has too many icks. That's a new word out there, the icks, ICK. And a lot of women have a whole lot of icks. So what is an ick? A ick is a turnoff, like ick, like ugh, like it's a turnoff. And she has too many icks, so she gonna stay single forever. I hope she has a dog or cat or something. I'm just saying. I wish she would match up with somebody because I love nothing more than to see black couples get together and have a relationship. For whatever reason, Sharice is one of Crystal's, I wouldn't say favorites, but she says she has a special place in her heart. I don't know why. Sharice is a difficult woman. She is not easy to get along with men or women. I don't know why she has a special place in Crystal heart. Maybe because she see the turmoil in this woman and she wants her to find love. I don't know. But I just had to say that, man. Sharice is not a bad looking woman at all. But that brain of hers just messes it. It messes it up is about as much as it can. The software in her brain is just so corrupt. I'm just saying that as from a male perspective. She is the last woman I would want to get with on this show. Even on her episode of RTL, it's just she just got a lot of, I think, psychological problems, but that's another story. But so far, I believe Verneashia's version of this, and I was saying that look, when Crystal and Mo was bigging up Mizell, I called it BS. If you don't believe me, go check the tape. And now, now they're all in agreement with Verneashia. But I knew it as soon as I heard. As soon as Mizell opened his mouth, I was like, nah, man, this dude, nah. I'm very good at reading people. Very good at reading people. So, let's see what else Verneashia had to say.
What he messed up is, now he was right about the Sharice kept him first. I hate that they didn't show their part. And I hate that they didn't show the conversation. Now where he lied again, he says, I got up and walked off.
Yeah.
Ooh. To ask production to show you a video of that. That never happened. I'm like, dude, you wasn't that important. What happened was, when he got to the house, Margie had been texting me, sending pictures of his dog. We had like conversations on text messages.
Okay.
When he was pulling up to the house, he called and said, did I have an earring back? I'm
right.
like, nah, but Zadia got a bunch of earrings and stuff. So I'm like, girl, this is Mizell. He told me I need an earring back. Why wouldn't you call Sharice? Why wouldn't you call production? You didn't have to call me. Sharice got earrings, but I didn't have a. So Zadia took it, went and got an earring back and brought it to production to give to him outside. That's where Sharice was like, because he was steady lying. He would not be honest. That's why she eliminated him. It wasn't because she was upset or I got up and I never stormed off. That's on my children. That never happened. What happened was, after Sharice decided to keep him, what like production do, they had us all sit in the dining area. I'm sitting with Tabori. Mind you, I had already told Tabori the whole situation about Mizell. So Tabori was already knew what it was. When they sat down, because I heard him like lying. When he was talking to Sharice in the hallway, when she was going to eliminate him, I'm listening because I'm listening to his lies. And that's the
Yeah.
thing that kind of like, I'm like, dude, what did you lie for? Just be honest, because you're going home regardless. You going home because you lied to her, or you gonna go home because you lied about me? You get what I'm saying? Like, you going home either way.
Yeah.
When they sat down and he was like, Sharice was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep Mizell.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, well, as you should. Cool. I said, but Sharice, he's not being honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, yeah, we wasn't really, that's when she was like, yeah, I know I wasn't really answering the phone for him. We wasn't really talking like that. So basically she forgive him because she wasn't, really too much entertaining him anyways. I say, well, Sharice, he's been like texting me all day long. And she's like, he's sitting there. So I pulled out my phone. I'm like, yes, I even, when he got here, asked me for an earring back and this and that. And Sharice was like, oh, that's it. That's it. Nobody ever got stormed. Sharice said, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Walked him back to the couch and sent him home. He was stumbling over his words. He couldn't even get his words together. Like Sharice thing is, and then she's like, the dude just lying. Like he act like y'all had one conversation. I'm like, Sharice, this dude sent me pictures of his dog, him, this and that. And she like, yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's exactly how it went. It's nothing to lie about. You could be very honest.
When we saw the text, I told Crystal, I was like, you were short.
Yeah.
He was one pushing.
It was good to see you. I would love to talk to you again. This and that. He said the same thing on my phone. And that's why I said the same thing on the text. Everything I'm saying is you have to let production know. Let production know you want to take me out.
Yeah.
Let production know. Mind you, all the men are fair game. That's why when people, she's breaking the girl, ain't no girl code. Him and Sharice wasn't in no relationship. They went on one date, never kissed.
You said that. There was a clip where all of you were like, it's not everybody, it's fair game. And you're not in nobody's in relationships. Nobody.
Now, had that been me dating Cam or even Mr. Maurice, because they been out, like, I wouldn't do that. But the mere fact the man just got there.
Why you call him Mr. Maurice?
The lawyer.
I'm just saying now, I can see them like, oh, she breaking the girl code. But a dude that just got there, none of us know him.
Yeah.
Like, if he was interested and after he asked them to take me on a date, I would have gone on a date.
Yeah.
I'm telling you this right now. Because at that moment, I'm trying to figure out who the hell here for me. Just because they set Sharice on a blind date with him don't mean that's a dude. Just because they would set me up on blind dates with people don't mean that that's my dude.
That's true.
Everybody's fair game. Zakia went on dates with 2 of my people.
Yes, she did.
And I did not blink. I did not care. I only went on one date with them dudes at that time.
Yeah, and Sharice almost she was kind of pushing up on Cameron, especially in the beginning. Like, oh yeah, he got his stuff together, this, that, and the third, and he's a good dude. And Zadia was feeling a certain type of way about that, like But she's right. All the men are fair game. The women are there to try to find a dude. If I'm a guy, I'm a little annoyed at this setup because I don't think the men got the information that the women got. I'm going to just be real. I don't think production told them this was going to be the setup. I don't think production told them they can go after whichever woman that they wanted. I don't think they had much choice. And I don't think that they thought the women knew that like say for instance, if you a guy and you coming on this show and it's only 4 women and they set you up with one, as a man, your instinct is not to go holla at all the chicks. You're going to be like, okay, so they set me up with this chick, maybe they want me to stay with this chick. Men aren't going to jump to the conclusion that all the women are fair game, because that wasn't the message that was said to the men. That's one part I believe of what Mizell said. Like he said, they didn't tell us that we could, talk to all the women. They just set us up with one of the women and we were to assume to just date her. That's one part I believe that Mizell said. A lot of the other stuff was a lie. But my point is, production made this whole thing messy. They made this whole thing, it's a mess. Men aren't even from New Orleans. It's ridiculous. And you only tell the women what's going on, but you don't tell the men what's going on. They don't even, the men aren't aware that this is not a regular RTL episode. The men aren't aware that they can date all of the women. So you keep them in the dark so that they have to, find their way in the dark. So it's a huge disadvantage to the men, and it's kind of frustrating because it's set up for failure. You're going to have misunderstandings. You're going to have these misunderstandings because it's hard to complain that Mizell is lying when I feel like production was lying by omission. Production was lying by omission. It wasn't telling the men everything. So no wonder they got to feel their way around and figure out what the hell is going on. And that's the part. Now, as a man, you're supposed to keep your integrity on everything and not lie when you're in certain situations. But how about we give the men all the information? Let's start there, production. So you don't have these mishaps of Mizell and things like that. And the girls not sure if they can steal another woman's man or what, whatever. I know all of men are fair game, but I'm not even sure if the women were aware of that in the beginning. So it's sometimes I think they make this stuff messy on purpose. They make it messy on purpose. And they make it messy so that people got to stumble around and try to figure out what the hell is going on and how they're trying to run the show. And, it's listen, if all you want is entertainment, you got it. If all you want is the entertainment of reality TV and seeing these black people try to find love, and you give the women all the breadcrumbs so they can find their way, and you leave the men totally in the dark. And it's more men than it is women, and they got to compete for these women, and they're not even sure if they have a say-so in which women that they would. So then you have the Mizells asking, hey, did you find your guy yet? So maybe later on production told them that, all the women are fair game. He said he didn't know. I have to kind of lean and say I believe him when he said that he didn't know. Because that sounds like something production would do. They would keep that from the men. And I don't think he was the only one that said that. I thought it was another guy who kind of alluded to that too. But I believe Verneashia. I believe that she was probably interested in Mizell. I think she found him attractive. But that was before she knew he was a liar. Okay. That was a turn off for her. Sharice wasn't really interested. He probably felt that vibe from Sharice. So he said, let me holla at somebody else. So he started hollering at Verneashia. I kind of understand his train of thought when all of that. But he's still a weasel. A decent enough guy, but nobody you could have a long-term relationship. You could probably have a date with Mizell, probably have a good time. But when you're talking about settling down as a woman, no, he's not that dude. I'm not going to continue on. If you want to see the rest, go to Crystal's page and check out her recap with Verneashia. Shout out to Verneashia. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Mo. Um, and production, y'all wrong for this, man. Y'all just wrong. I place a lot of the blame on production. The guys ain't even from New Orleans. It's just a mess, man. Like, listen, just I'm just waiting on RTL at this point, waiting on the next season of Ready to Love. All of these women empowerment and women got all the power shows is draining for the birds, to be honest. But I'm here for y'all if y'all want to see it. So, and give you a male perspective. Hit the like for that. Share and subscribe to the channel for more great reviews and opinions by Mike the Philosopher on Black Man Rankings. And if you got any other ideas, any kind of things you want me to review, any shows, any questions, hit me in the email blackmanrankings@gmail.com. I'll answer all questions. And if you want to come on the show, holla at your boy. We can talk it out. I welcome everyone. So if you want to, talk, be on camera, and review a show with me, blackmanrankings@gmail.com. I welcome you. Thanks for watching. I will hit you in the next one, or I will catch you in the next one. Peace.